Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hello and welcome. So today we are doing my monthly favorites. I'm not going to call it I just called it a monthly favorite, but actually calling it a monthly favorite is kind of not what it is. It's more of just a kind of roundup of what I've been enjoying, because I'm not very good at doing kind of monthly favorites. I tend to forget about them, or I'm not using enough products to kind of make up a video. So a lot of these products I've been using over the past couple of months, and I've been using them quite frequently in my videos, but I want to talk about like why I've been enjoying them and why they kind of in my kind of thumbs up type of area. So I'm going to start with a bit of skin prep. So we're talking about the Beauty Crop peptide calm duo. So this came out, I would say, a month or two ago, and Beauty Crop sent these to me to test out because I'm part of one of their Facebook groups. So they occasionally do, like, if you want to test out this product, like this page and all this random stuff. So I did that, and they messaged me on Instagram saying that they were going to send these to me, and I've been really enjoying them. So I have used them a couple of times on my channel. This I am in favor more than out of the both. So this is the moisturizing barrier balm. So I use this every day on my way to work, well, before I leave home to go to work, because my skin is absolutely dry. It is so dry. If you guys aren't aware, I have rosacea, which is a skin condition I've had for about 7 years, and my skin gets very dry, and especially now that the spring and the summer are coming and my hormones are all over the place at the moment, I feel like I need something super duper moisturizing. This really helps. For, I would say, it doesn't last all day. It definitely lasts a good couple of hours, because I know that my skin is starting to get dehydrated again. I don't take this with me because I don't know, I should probably keep it in my bag, but I mean, as soon as I feel like I'm getting dehydrated, I tend to just get on with it. But in the morning, it's really helpful. It really helps my skin feel nice and soft. But then as soon as I step outside, it kind of just, it's my own skin. It's not nothing to do with the product, because I feel like the product does a really good job. Whereas on the other hand, when it comes to the skin mist, if I really need my skin to just chill out and just kind of dry up, like kind of hydrate, this is definitely it. I mean, you definitely have to give it a shake to kind of get it activated, but as soon as it starts working, it feels so nice, and it smells really nice as well. Both of them have a really pleasant scent to them, and I feel like if it wasn't sent to me, I probably wouldn't have picked it up, because skincare wise, I tend to stick to certain brands. Like I use Elemis. I know that's not the most affordable, but I use stuff like Elemis and kind of, I don't know, like Revolution and stuff like that. There's such a random selection of like skincare products that I use. But when using these, I feel like they've done a really good job. That's probably why I've added them in my favorites for the past couple of months, is because I generally use them pretty much every day, and I use this a couple of times a week, whereas this definitely every day. So that was essentially a skincare prep section. We're going to go on to concealer. I have two concealers. So the first one is by Be Perfect. This is their full impact complete coverage concealer. So I like to buy it as much as I can from Be Perfect, because I feel like they always do a really good job when it comes to their makeup. And recently I've picked up one of their, was it the mini amplified palette that came as a bundle that supported Doctors Without Borders. So that was a great charity that the money also went to, and the products themselves were really good. But when it comes to their kind of complexion, their foundations are so good. This concealer I really enjoy. So this is in the shade L3, and it's essentially a full coverage concealer, which it says on there, and it absolutely is. I feel like, especially my under eyes are very deep, and they tend to go in and out of being really grey or really dark, and then sometimes they go quite light depending on, I guess, how my body is. But this helps me cover up so many of my spots and so many of my under eye circles as well. And the fact that I think always on Be Perfect they have some kind of sale, even on their TikTok they literally have like 20% off and 10% off and blah blah blah. I think during Easter, this is when I'm filming it, so I'm probably going to upload this a little bit later after Easter. They had like 40% off, and I'm kind of like, all right, this is, I mean, they're going for these discounts, but I honestly feel like this is a really great concealer. Again, it works really well with their foundations, and there's been a couple of things that they've released but I haven't picked up. I know that they came out with like a powder foundation with Mrs. Glam or something like that. I have no idea who that is, but a lot of times when it comes to their type of products, I generally will pick them up. There's just a couple of things that I haven't got recently, but this was the last thing that I got by them, and I really enjoy it. So the other thing is by NYX, and this is their Pro Fix Stick. So I saw this everywhere online before it came to the UK, and I was constantly saying to them, when's it coming out? When are we getting it? Blah, 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 because they're essentially concealer sticks, correcting sticks and stuff like that. So they do come out with quite a big array of shades. So they've also got like the green one and lavender and this and that, but they also have a big selection of shades. So I have the shade light, and again I use it pretty much the same way as I use a standard concealer. I don't really know how to color correct myself, especially my skills aren't of a professional clearly, but I feel like if I get to learn a bit more, I will definitely know how to use it. But even just using this as just your standard concealer does a really good job. It's very full coverage. So if you need something like me to cover up dark circles or spots, especially I have very pigmented spots, I feel like this will do a really good job. And like I said, the shade selection is massive, and NYX, I will always try something by them. They haven't sent me anything in a while, which is not a problem at all because I'm always happy to spend my money. There's another thing that by them that I'm going to be talking about later. But yeah, I just really love their products. I feel like there's a couple of things that I might not have enjoyed in the past, but with a brand, I really feel like a lot of brands these days make everything like just perfect or do such a great job. So yeah, those were concealers. Let's go on to some blushes. I only have two today, which is quite surprising because a lot of times I have a lot of favorites. So I might have spoken about this one maybe in my last favorites. I can't remember, but this is by Elf. So this is their Camo Liquid Blush. I know this is not new. I literally had this since it came out. So I have been using it constantly. It's not going to be ending, and this is not going to be finishing anytime soon because they're so damn pigmented. And if I used my standard amount of blush, I would look horrendous. But that just shows you how good the pigmentation on these are. So I got the shade, I know it's something orange, going orange. I mean, if I used a lot of this, I would definitely be going orange. I don't know if there's any 90s kids on here like tangoed. Being tangoed is one of the big things that happened in the 90s. But yeah, this is a really, really nice concealer. Concealer, my brain is not working. This is a great blush. And again, I love the doe foot because it's so just really nice. It's massive when you kind of think about how much product you need, but I feel like it does a great job where you just kind of dot and then you blend in, because if you leave it too long it will dry up, and that's the last thing that you want, especially when it's kind of just stuck there, because it will not budge, especially if it dries down very quickly. It's just it's going to look crazy. And they did Elf did recently announce that they're coming out with their grip setting spray, which I will be picking up because again, when it comes to Elf, I buy a lot of their products. Again, there's a thing later that I'm going to talk about as well. I genuinely think that they're a brand where they're constantly bringing out some really great things, and they recently announced in their America branch, or whatever it is, America, that they came out with a collaboration with Liquid Death. And we don't sell Liquid Death in this country, but you can essentially get it on Amazon, I think, but it's going to be a lot more expensive. But they've done a collaboration where they made like a corpse paint kind of bundle, and that is right up my street. I'm a big fan of like black metal, heavy metal, like death metal, like Oathbreaker are a brand that I've loved for many years and listened to. They don't fall within those type of genres, but within the metal scene and all that, I am a very big fan, and that would be perfect for someone like me and a lot of people on social media as well, especially in the UK, who would want to try that. But I don't think it's coming here, which is very frustrating, but I think it's sold out super quickly online as well. But if you manage to get it, let me know, because I would love to see I know what's in there, but as in like what looks you've done, because it's obviously very corpse paint heavy, which I love so much. But Again, Elf are coming out with constantly great stuff, and I really enjoy the brand as well. So the next blush is by Technic. So this is by a very affordable brand, and I love using Technic. They are a brand that I feel like you don't need to spend a lot of money to get good quality, and I speak about them quite frequently because my local beauty outlet always has their brand new products. So they've come out with some new products recently, which I haven't had a chance to go to the outlet because I just full-time full-time worker, just don't have time to do these things. But I will definitely be going there maybe sometime in a week or two and having a look if they've got them, and I really want to pick them up. But yeah, this is their cream blusher in the shade Pinched, and you know what? This is quite a deep shade for what they would normally come out with, because they come out with a lot of pinks and just the standard type of blush. But I wanted to try something different, so that's why I picked up this shade. And for a cream blush, they're great. I mean, I really like it. It cost me what, £3 or £3.50, and it's the same with like W7. They have a crazy amount of really affordable products, and a lot of times they are dupes, but they're really good dupes as well. So it's not like they're crazy obvious that they're the same thing. The packaging tends to be the same, but when it comes to the actual product, they bring their own, and I feel like this is a really great product. And especially Technic themselves, constantly they're coming out with so many things. I don't know how they do it. They're like Revolution and Colourpop. Colourpop have really kind of slowed down their releases, which I think is quite interesting. But yeah, Technic, so good. Really recommend trying them. If you can find them in the UK or wherever, please give them a go. They're really great. So let's go on to, this is just a random thing, so setting spray. So this is by NYX. This is their marshmallow setting spray. So the marshmallow primer was one of my favorite primers ever. I love that primer. I still have it, but I'm trying to not use it up, even though I can just honestly buy a new one. But the thing is, they're £15 for for the primer, and it's expensive. I personally feel like £15 for, especially a brand that I feel is quite affordable. £15 is a lot. I think I got this for about £10. So this is their setting spray. It smells just like marshmallows. It feels exactly the same as the primer itself. But I've just been really liking this because it really helps my makeup stay all day, which is essentially what a primer is for. No, what a setting spray is for. It smells great, and it is a mattifying one, so if you don't want a mattified finish, this is probably not for you. But if you want something that is going to make your makeup last all day and is going to smell great, because I know sometimes, I mean, I have to be careful with scented products, but I tend to fall out of that sometimes. I tend to just buy something if I want it. But when it comes to this, it really is great. I've tried a couple of their setting sprays as well, and I feel like this is still just perfectly on par. So let's talk about an eyeshadow palette, and I only have one, which I find very weird because I haven't been trying that many eyeshadow palettes. Like, I have picked up a couple here and there, but nothing has really like grabbed me. The only other thing I've been loving is the Melt Cosmetics Bailey Sarian collaboration, but I've used that quite a few times on my channel. But the Beauty Bay Reckless Romance palette, again, I know this came out like a month or so ago. I constantly have used it on my channel, but I've been using this so much recently, mainly off camera. Obviously, when I'm going to work, I try and do grungy looks and kind of different type of looks because I am an alternative lady, and I like to kind of mix up my makeup looks, and I try and be kind of as colourful. If I'm not having the best mental health day, I would go with something quite simple and just matte. I'd try and go with something quite nude tone without trying to be too like bright and out there. But I still feel like this palette is so damn good. I love Beauty Bay. They're always coming out with great things. I'm saying this about so many brands, but it's true. Like, there's so many brands that I feel like affordable wise are constantly just doing a great job, and I feel like Beauty Bay are again killing it with their eyeshadow palettes. I did do a review on this if you wanted to see more kind of up close and me actually using it. But again, this is still one of my favorite palettes that I love using. That and the Melt one, obviously they're very two different price points, absolutely, because that Melt one was around like £45 or something, and this was like 16, not even £16, I think, because you get 20 shades, and I think it was like £16 or £17, so it's like less than £1 per shade. and they're just amazing, and you can only get one size, which I think is fine because most of the time with Beauty Bay palettes you have a selection of, I think it's like 9, 16 or 40 45 or something like that. But yeah, I picked up this one. I think it's great. So let's go on to lips. So they're the last things that I'm going to be talking about. So what I have on my lips is by Elf. So again, I've spoken about this, used this on my channel a couple of times. This is their Clout Lip Plumping Pen. And again, there's been so much conversation about this online. I tend to just watch the videos but not take in what people are saying because I want to try something myself and use it. I know that's what influencers, it's their job to give their opinions and stuff like that. And I mean, this is why I make videos as well, just to kind of tell people how I feel about products. But I generally give like my honest review and everything, but I really like this. I mean, I had this on for about 45 minutes and I haven't gone overkill because again, it's a plumping one. The plumping effect has kind of gone down, but I know that you only need a tiny amount to use this. And again, so many people have been coming out with the clicker pens, and it's kind of a thing that I'm a bit bored of now because even I think NYX have done one, and that 3 or 4 brands have done them as well, and it's nothing original, it's nothing new, but again, it's a hype that people will do at the same time, and then eventually it will die down because every brand would have been like, well, I've made one now, so we're just going to move on to the next thing. But I generally think this is really nice. Again, it's super pigmented. I have the shade, I don't even know why I can't remember the shade names because my eyesight is so bad. I need my glasses to like have a look. I'm not going to have a look. But yeah, this is the red one. And again, I haven't used too much, but it will last me ages. So I really like that one a lot. Next one is by NYX. No, this is by NARS. So this is their Power Matte High Intensity Lip Pencil in the shade Endless Love. So again, I did like a TikTok kind of review on it, and I love this so much. This is so nice. I've used it a couple of times online. I don't know if I've done a video on it yet, but here we are. So this is their lip pencil. I also use this as a lipstick, and it dries down matte and it feels so damn good. It glides on like butter. It is absolutely stunning. The only issue I have is again how expensive it is. It's like £25 or something, and I like to treat myself occasionally to things. Like I see something and I go, I really want to try that, and I get slightly obsessive over wanting to try certain things, so I will pick it up. And disclaimer, I picked this up where I work, so I did get a discount, so I didn't essentially pay full price, but it's still expensive when you think about it. But I don't try a lot by NARS, to be honest, because again, price point is pretty high, and here and there reviews like the eyeshadow palettes, I tried one, not a big fan. I recently picked up one of their pot concealers. I really like that. I thought it was great. I need to try more of their foundations because they just sound great. But when it comes to this, I love this. I mean, it's not going to last you a long time by any means, because as soon as you drink something, it will transfer, because when it dries down, it does go matte, but it's still very creamy, so it takes a while for it to actually settle in. But it's super pigmented, the shade selection is great, and yeah, I really like this a lot. So I've got 2 more lip products. So the next one is by Huda Beauty. So this is their Faux Filter lip gloss, and again, as someone who doesn't wear a lot of lip glosses, who kind of hates lip gloss as much, I picked this up because I really love Huda Beauty. I love what she stands for. I love her makeup, all that I've tried, and I had to pick this up. So I picked this up from Cult Beauty the day it came out, and it turned up like the next day. But I got the shade Posh, and you know what? For a gloss, it doesn't feel like a gloss. It looks like a gloss, but the way that it is not super tacky, it doesn't like have that slimy feel to it. This is so comfortable. I need to try this like for a longer extended period of time, because every time I've used it, I've only used it for about 10-15 minutes, and of course that is not a long time to wear something. But again, I really like this. I really want to try more shades, but again, this is expensive. This is like, well, actually no, this is £17.50, so I feel like this is a lot more affordable than some of her other things. I'm a big fan of her liquid lipsticks. I think they are bloody amazing. But yeah, this is a super, super surprise for me, and a surprise that I even picked it up. But again, I really love Huda. I've kind of grown to appreciate a lot more of her makeup and the stuff that she does as well. But yeah, if you are thinking of picking this up, I really like recommend it. It just feels really nice, and again, it's pretty hydrating. So the last thing that I want to talk about, darlings, is the Charlotte Tilbury Big Lip Plump Gasm. So I recently picked this up and I did a video, so it might have been my last one that I uploaded potentially. My brain doesn't work, but no, not my last one. Sorry. It was, I don't know when I'm going to upload this again, so it will be on my channel. But yeah, I've used this and I do really like it. Its packaging is really damn nice, and I do have a code of her if you want to use it. If you don't want to, it's absolutely fine, but it comes in 2 shades. I have the shade Fair Medium, and of course it's in Pillow Talk because why wouldn't it be? It's Charlotte Tilbury, so everything is Pillow Talk. But you know what? The kind of plumping effect is comfortable. It's not uncomfortable by any means because, you know, NYX came out with their Duck Plump, and so many other brands are coming out with their version of plumping. And again, that's another trend that is kind of coming out. But I feel like this is pretty comfortable. I need to try it again for a longer period of time, because when I film my videos and when I do reviews and stuff, I don't keep them on for very long just because I end up having to film something else, or I'm just not filming for the rest of the day. So I feel like this is a really nice kind of addition to her Pillow Talk. It's not something that I would kind of wear on a regular basis just because plumping effects are not the most comfortable for me. Like I do have a high pain tolerance, but when it comes to lips, it's just unnecessary sometimes to feel like your lips are just gonna fall off or burn off or whatever. But I still do like this. I do think it's a really nice product. If you can get it, if you want to pick it up, I think it's worth it. So that is my current favorites at the moment. I'll probably upload another one in a couple of months. I'll see how I feel. Again, it just depends on what I use, what I review, what I talk about on my channel as well, because pretty much any makeup that I buy, that I pick up, I will use it on my channel somehow, just to kind of give it a review and its content. So that's great. Let me know what your current favorite is. It could be any product. It doesn't even have to be makeup products. It could be a film, or it could be, you know, a game or something, because those things are also right up my street. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, because I film and upload every time I get a chance to. Don't forget to follow me on any of my social medias, because I'm always active on there, and appreciate you sitting down, listening to me ramble on. See you very soon. Bye bye.